and Lou, good afternoon to the two of you. We've got some new information about the shooting and also the shooter. Texas Governor Greg Abbott, he addressed his state a short time ago where he became emotional while speaking about the lives lost.
19 children. 19 children have lost their lives. 2 faculty members lost their lives. In addition to that, there are 17 people who are injured, but their injuries are not life-threatening.
The Texas governor was briefed by officials before making those comments right there. And here's what we know currently about the investigation. A gunman who we are only identifying as an 18-year-old barricaded himself inside of a 4th grade classroom and took the lives of 19 children and 2 adult teachers. It happened at Robb Elementary School. The gunman was later killed by police. That gunman, who just turned 18 years old this month, lives in Uvalde, Texas. He attended the elementary school where the shooting happened when he was younger. He reportedly lives about 2 blocks away, and friends say it was his anger, or at least his anger, started recently after it became clear he would not be graduating high school with his fellow senior classmates. That conversation is reportedly what started an argument with the gunman's grandmother. It's where the shooter was staying after having some sort of a fallout with his mom. The shooter shot his grandmother right in the face during that argument. She's in serious condition, currently undergoing surgery. We're told after that first shooting, he got into his grandmother's truck, crashed it through a school barrier. The gunman's grandfather speaking to ABC News this morning, where he said his grandson didn't even know how to drive and he didn't possess a driver's license. The grandfather also is saying he was unaware that his grandson had just recently purchased weapons. Now, brand new this afternoon, Governor Abbott just addressed several social media posts allegedly made by the shooter that was leading up to yesterday's shooting.
As of this time, the only information that was known in advance was posted by the gunman on Facebook approximately 30 minutes before reaching the school. The first post was to the point of, he said, "I'm going to shoot my grandmother." The second post was, "I shot my grandmother." The third post, maybe less than 15 minutes before arriving at the school, was, "I'm going to shoot an elementary school."
Meta is aware, Meta is the company that obviously owns Facebook. They're aware of those messages. They call them direct messages. We have some details this afternoon involving the weapons used by the gunman as well. He bought 2 AR-15 style rifles. They were legally purchased this month after he turned 18. He also purchased 375 rounds of ammunition. One of those rifles was found inside of the truck that crashed. The other was found on him after the shooter was killed by authorities. Multiple magazines also reportedly found on that campus as well. The gunman entered the school wearing a tactical style vest. Once barricaded inside that classroom, the gunman reportedly fired continually through the windows of that classroom at law enforcement officials. There's even some speculation right now the gunman may have even exchanged gunfire with a school police officer outside the classroom before making his way into the classroom. How and if that happened remains under investigation at this time. It was a team of tactical Border Patrol agents who eventually gained entry into that room after getting a master key from the principal. Also, some developments from that news conference that got underway this afternoon. Texas gubernatorial candidate and former presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke walked up on stage this morning and had this exchange with the Texas governor.
Sir, you're out of line. Sir, you are out of line. Sir, you are out of line. Please leave this auditorium.
Beto O'Rourke was later escorted out of that auditorium by law enforcement officials. O'Rourke is someone who has called for a gun confiscation program. He made that call while running for the White House several years ago. We're going to have more on any of these new developments that do continue to come into our newsroom. But for now, Mark Messer live in News Center. Lou, sending it back to you in the studio.